All right. Hey, everybody. I wanted to show you how to do your week one project. I am Andrea, also known as Happy. I'm your instructor for the class. And this is just to give you a visual way. All of everything that you need. So this W3 schools list of tags is here. This is going to be our pretty much W3 schools is going to be our textbook for the class. And down here, I give you an example of me creating a project for Hello World, but it might not have all of these tags and stuff in here. So I'm just going to show you how to do it, but all the information will be your information. All right, so this is the typical document. I'm in Dreamweaver, and that is the code editor that I will be using to show you during this class. It is Adobe Dreamweaver. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to go ahead and change the title. So this is the project, and you can see that these tags are pretty much the same, except for I also have the doc type HTML, which is telling the browser that this is an HTML document. So I'm going to type Happy's favorite things. Okay, so that is going to be the title of my document. And then inside a body, because this is all the stuff that we want visible, this is where our meat and potatoes are going to go. So it says heading tag. So I'm going to make sure I have header. Cool thing about Dreamweaver and a lot of other text editors too, you type the open class, it's automatically going to type the closing class for you, which is kind of cool. I'm sorry, the closing tag for you, which is kind of cool. And that just makes sure your elements are set. So I'm putting the header tags here. I'm going to put paragraph tags just for the heck of it. Let me go ahead and set them up. So I'm just going to set up all my tags. And the reason I'm setting them up is so that I know what they are. Now, how do we know that these are header, paragraph, and all those unordered? Is that reference that is listed. You can go through it and they're all in alphabetical order. So if I wanted to know what the header tag is, I'm going to go to the section where there is H, and I'm going to see header. And it tells you that this defines a header for a document or a section. And I'm looking for the P tag, and it tells you it defines a paragraph. So all of the tags come from this list. This is going to be an awesome reference for you throughout. So definitely make sure you keep that reference. But anyway, I'm just going to go through and put my tags, and I'm going to say fun things. This isn't going to be what I end up with, but I'm just putting this in here to show you. Okay, and then so if I wanted an unordered list, I would go to this reference and I would look under you and find unordered list, and I would see, oh, there's an unordered list right there. It's UL. So I'll put that tag over here. UL. Okay, and then go ahead here. And then with an unordered list are list items. So I have unordered list. I'm going to go up here to see if I can find list items. Now, none of this makes sense to you right now, but will. And right here, LI defines a list item. See right there, LI. So I'm going to put LI. Oops. No, I really am going to do it. Hang on. All right, let me go ahead. LI for list item. So each list item that I want to put in here is going to go here. And then it says also ordered list. So I want to make sure I have ordered list. The difference between unordered list and ordered list is unordered list has bullets, not numbers, and ordered lists have numbers. Okay, so I'm going to go back to my reference. You can probably guess what it's going to be, but there it is right here, defines ordered list. It is OL. So I'm going to type OL over here. I'm going to type OL. And then I'm going to put in my list item because I know what that is already. So each item that I put is going to be in a list item. Let's see what else it's telling us to do. Attributes, we'll get to attributes, and links. So there needs to be a link somehow in here. So you know what I think I'm going to do is Happy's favorite things. Let's type for header. I'm gonna say, oops, you know what? Header is not the tag I wanted. I actually wanted heading tag. So that's gonna be H1. So let me make sure it's H1. So it's not a header tag, my bad. It's H1. We're gonna get in the header tags later, but for now, this is just H1. I know that H1 is just gonna be one line, so I don't have to, I can put this all on one line. So I'm gonna say, so I just delete it to go back. And for my header, I'm gonna say, this is a list of Happy's favorite things. All right. And then for the paragraph, I'm actually going to cut that because I don't want that paragraph there. So I just hit Control X. I'm going to put the paragraph down here because I have something else that I want to put there. I'm actually going to put my link inside of the paragraph tag. But let's see what's happening so far. So I'm going to save this. And then I'm going to refresh this. Okay, so I just refreshed it. And right now, this is what's happening. This is a list of happy favorite things, which I typed right here, which is the H1. And then there's a paragraph down here called fun things. But then also notice this dot and this number 1. Zoom in. Notice this dot and this number 1. What that is, I didn't put any information in here. So that's the unordered list. Remember, it is a bullet that's coming from this list item, but there's nothing in there. So it's just a bullet. And then down here, where you see the number 1, that's coming from this ordered list. And then the number is just coming from that list item. Cool, right? I know you think it. So just to prove it to you, if I go Control C, and then I'm going to go Control V, and then I'm going to do it again. Control V, because I already have it copied. Control V, Control V. What should happen is, because I have this list item, it should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's save this and see if I'm right. Look at that. See that? So that's what the list items do. The ordered list, this defines that it's an ordered list. And these define each list item in that ordered list. Isn't that cool? And then up here, if I wanted to, I could just copy that. And then I could paste this 5 times. And what we're going to see is 5 bullets. Let's Control or Command Save. And let's refresh. And you'll see the 5 bullets. So this is how this works. So now this is your list item. So now if I say, I'm going to put a link in here. I'm going to put A. And I'm going to say, so I got my A tags in here. And I'm going to say Google. Okay. So now if I'm going to save this, now when I refresh this, it just shows up Google, but it's not a link. It's not taking me anywhere because I haven't defined that. So we'll get to that later. Right now, I just wanted to go ahead and set up the document. The document is set. So now we are actually ready to put some stuff in here. So Happy's favorite things. So let's see, unordered, I mean, a list. I could say, oops. I don't know what I just did. Okay, I can say family. My family are my favorite things. What else is my favorite? Dancing. Oh, but it's a thing. Let me say tumblers. Personal, I make personal tumblers. Actually, I don't. I buy personal tumblers. I make personal cards and stuff. All right, personal tumblers. Crafting. I'll say time with friends. Teaching. Actually, teaching is probably above all that, but we'll see. It's up for family. All right, and then I could say, what I want to say, I'm trying to think of things that I'd want to number in my list. Let's see. What do I want to number? Why can't I think? Isn't that crazy? Maybe I'll just say, it doesn't have to make sense. So I'm gonna say colors. 5 favorite colors. I'm gonna say red, hot, pink. No, you know what? I'm gonna name my favorite celebrities. Why not? How fun is that? Okay, I'm gonna say Michael Jackson, Whitney Houston, I didn't think beyond them. I'll say, I'm saying my favorite singer is Mary J. Blige, Mary J. Blige, USHER, Usher, and who else? These probably, I have so many favorite celebrities, but anyway, I'm just naming a few. Usher and what other singer? What other? Oh my gosh, Sam Houston right now is amazing. I'll just say Sam Houston. Okay, so I'm gonna save this and let's see what happens. Look at that, just filled in my list. But what's happening is I really need that Google link to link. And I also need this, I also need headings for each one of these. But let's go ahead and work on this link real quick. So what I need for this link to work is a href, which means I need this to reference something. So if I go back to my HTML reference and I go down to links, let's see. Let me see if it's under link. Yeah, so link right here. Now, here's another thing that we haven't done. If you want to know what these things do, because right now I'm just telling you what to press, just click on it and it'll take you to the section talking about links. So now it'll tell you what the definition is, the way it's used, the element, all the information that you need to know. So right now, this is a link, right? So this is a different type of link. This is a link for external style sheet. But if you want the links for your pages, let's see. Right here. Okay, so href, that is how we reference, that tells it where this link is going to go. So in our case, we're going to go to Google. So we need to put that URL in there, which means it's a full URL. So right here, I'm going to go to href, like it says, equals, it's an attribute. Okay, so when I go equals, quote, quote. So this is an attribute. This href equals, quote, quote. What an attribute does is extend the functionality of the tag. You're going to learn more about this in detail next week, but I'm just letting you know that an attribute extends the functionality of the tag, because when this is a P tag, that was an A tag, right? There's an open and closed tag. And what's in the middle right here, this is the attribute. This is extend this functionality, because right now it's just a link and it does nothing. But when you put that href, let's save this. Let's go preview it. That href made it a link. Notice how now when I hover over it, the hand comes as a link. But if we were to click this, it's not going to go anywhere. It's going to stay inside of where it is because we haven't told it to go anywhere. So that's where we put that information right in between these two quotes. So we're going to say https :// www, because it's a fully qualified URL, www.google.com. So now we have the URL. Now we're saying, hey, this link, we added this attribute, this href equals, quote, quote. Where is it gonna go? It's gonna go to https://www.google.com. And now it is a link. So when I go back and I refresh it, remember when I clicked on it before, it went nowhere. Now when I click on it, it's actually taking us to Google, okay? So that's our link. So you put whatever link you want. Another way you can grab a link is to go to the site that you want. So let's say I wanted to go to a craft site. Then I would click here. And let's say this is the one that I want. Let me say crafter. Let's do Crafter's Companion. They're cool. Okay. All right, so I can do, okay, so the fully qualifying URL. And so this is telling Google, this is where it needs to go, or this is where we want it to go. All right. So that's what again, we have our link, we have our href equals, we have our fully qualifying URL, and we have the name of it. But if we wanted to change this, as a matter of fact, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go ahead and copy this and just paste it down just so I can show you, because you're not gonna use the same stuff that I use. But so for here, if we wanted to do Crafter's Companion, because I did say I'll go ahead and try that one, which is a crafting website for me. So I can actually, I'm gonna get rid of all the additional goop. All right, all I want is this one. So this https://www.crafterscompanion.com. I'm gonna copy that. So I'm hitting Command C. You hit Control C if you're on a PC. And I'm going to go ahead and take this entire web address from https google.com. I'm going to replace it with Crafter's Companion. Then I'm going to change this name from Google to Crafter's Companion. I'm going to save this. I'm going to refresh it. So remember, this is just Google. I'm going to refresh it. And now I have Google and Crafter's Companion. I'm going to close this one. And now when I click on this link, it takes me to Crafter's Companion. Okay. So that's how easy it is to swap the links. I'm always about working smarter, not harder. So the next thing I want to do is I want where this list is right here. I'm going to use a different heading tag because these are my, this is my favorite thing. So I'm just going to say, I'm going to put some P tags, right? You know what? Instead of saying, this is a list of Happy's, I'm going to say Happy's favorites instead of favorite things, just because. So I'm saying this is a list of Happy's favorites. And then I'm going to, right before I start my unordered list, I'm going to make another H tag. So I'm going to say H2. And for this H2, I'm going to say my favorite. No, I'm just going to say favorite, my favorite things. And then, so I got the H2 tags. And then down here, after this unordered list, I'm going to hit return. And I'm going to make this one another H2 tag. And then I'm going to name this one favorite celebrities. No, favorite singers. I'm going to save that, refresh. And now I have my H tags up for my favorite things, for my favorite singers. I have links for Crafter's Companion and a link for Google. Now, Google doesn't really make sense Maybe I go to, since I have Michael Jackson as my #1 singer, I'll type Michael Jackson. And maybe I find his official site, which is this one. I could actually just copy it from here, but I'm gonna go here. And now I don't have to click on this. I do want to show you this. I can just right click on this and I can copy link address. So I'm going to do that. And then down here where it says Google, I'm going to change that to visit Michael's site. Maybe I'll say official, Michael's official. Visit Michael's official site. So now I'm going to select this HTTPS for Google, paste there. And then that was my favorite singer. And for, I already have crafting. Okay, cool. But I'm probably going to switch this order because I want one to be, I'd want it to go in order, but that don't matter. You know what? Let's refresh. I'm not going to be so particular about it. All right, so I have visit Michael's site and I have Crafters Companion. Now I decided to put them in 2 P tags, but guess what? I don't have to. I can actually have it in just 1 tag. And the way that I can do that is I'm going to get rid of this closing P tag. I'm going to get rid of this open P tag. And now it is just sitting in 1 paragraph tag. See that? All of this is in 1 paragraph tag. That way it looks closer together. I'm going to save this. When I refresh, look what happens. I want there to be some type of break between these two. I just didn't want as much space as we had before. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to look for the end of this link, which is always going to be that closing. I'm going to hit a space and I'm going to type left bracket BR just for break, because all I want is a line break. So this BR is a break. And the way we see it, if I go back here, and I'm going to go back to the list. If I want to search for break, I can search, remember it's in alphabetical order. I can search for BR or break, define the single line break. I can click here and it's going to tell me everything. And it's to force line breaks in text, use the BR element. And that's what I just used. But the funny thing about the BR element is it doesn't have to have a close. It's what's called an empty tag because there's no content in between. It has one purpose, one job. Its one job is to give a break, and that's what it's doing. So when I hit save and I go back to preview our document, I'm getting a spinning wheel. Hang on a second. I've been getting a spinning wheel quite a bit tonight, and I usually just pause the recording. Okay, I'm gonna hit cancel. All right, so I'm gonna go back to our website and see right here. Now, because we added that break, here's what happens. Look at that. And it breaks it down a line without all the additional spaces. So this is 1 paragraph. So I hope you can see the construction of this and understand it. So this is a list of happy favorite things. That is actually right here in this H1 tag. So H1 element. So this is 1 element. See that? So this element of H1, this is a list of happy favorite things. This is a heading. This is the top most important heading tag. So that's why it's H1. It says this is a list of happy favorite things. And I closed that H1. So this is H1 tag. This is the closing H1 tag. The only difference in the two is this /. Okay, / is always the closing. This entire thing is an H1 element because an element includes the open tag, the close tag, and everything in between. So that means this one, this is an H2 element. It's the open tag and the close tag and everything in between. So that's the H2 element. What is this? I hope you said this is an unordered list element because it includes the open tag and the close tag for the unordered list and everything in between. Inside the unordered list is a nested element, which is the list element. That's LI, open tag, close tag, and everything in between. So this UL has 5 list elements in it. Okay, that makes sense? I hope so. So let me separate these out just so that you can see the difference in each element. There's a space, there's a space, there's a space. This is how I like to work, especially when I'm teaching anyway. Here's the H2 element, here's the ordered list element, here's the paragraph element with a break. Okay, so right now what we're looking at is 5 direct elements. Okay, there's more, but here's 1, here's 2. So this is 1, which is the heading 1 element. Here's 2, which is the H2 element. Here's 3, which is the unordered list element. Inside of the unordered list, it has nested the 5 list elements, right? All right, here's 4. This is the H2 element. Here's 5. This is the ordered list element. And inside of the ordered list element are the list items. There are 5. Here's the paragraph element. Inside of this paragraph element, from the open to the closed paragraph tag, is a link element with an attribute, right? So the attribute's always going to be attribute name equals quote, quote, and then what's inside of the quote tells it what to do. Okay, so we have the order list. We have inside the ordered list is, actually I need to tab that in. All right, inside the ordered list is the, sorry, I'm looking for, okay, no, sorry, okay. So inside the ordered list are the list items again. There's the paragraph element. Inside the paragraph element is a link element. And if you want to see it, hang on. If you want to see it broken down so you can tell, okay, this is, yeah. So this is the paragraph element. This is the break element, which is inside the paragraph. So tab that in. This is the other link element that is inside the paragraph. And I'll go ahead and hit return so that these elements add up. Okay, so now you can clearly see the elements, okay? 1, 2, 3, right? With nested, 4, 5, 6, okay? So that is 6 elements that you can see, but also furthermore, here's the body element. Let's go all the way down to here. So that's the body element. All of these are nested inside the body element, okay? So the body element, remember, element goes from the open tag all the way to the closed tag, okay? Then we have the head element, like up here, we got elements up here. So we got the head element, this is the head element. Inside the head element, let me break this down so you can see that as well. Okay, so this is the head element. Inside the head element are all of like the meta char set, which this is just for the keyboard to let the countries know which keyboard set we're using. We're using the UTF-8. This is the title element. And then, of course, this whole thing is the head element. And then everything is the HTML element. So if I were to, let me see if I can do that on here real quick. Okay, let's see. Okay, sweet, if I can. So now I have everything separated out. So there's HTML element from beginning to end. There's the body element, you know, from beginning to end, head element. Anyway, I hope all this makes sense. If not, trust me, we're gonna get a lot of practice and it'll come to you in time. But this is just an introduction, just to really, you're just pretty much following step by step to create this document. But I hope this helps. You know, it helps you, you know, just create something. Remember, you're going to replace all of this with your own stuff. So whatever you want to title it, whatever you want to subtitle these areas, whatever you want inside of your list, whatever you want inside of your list, and then whatever links you want, they're going to be yours. Okay. All right. Hopefully this video helps clear things up. And, you know, and you just create some cool list. So anyway, I'm looking forward to seeing your list. And ta-ta for now. Until next session, until next lesson. Ta-ta, ta-ta, ta-ta.